this episode, I'm going to replace the headlights in the Jetta. But before we do that, I first need to replace one of the lenses. The passenger side lens is fine, but the driver's side is turning yellow. There's a reason for that. The passenger side lens is newer. It was replaced a couple years ago after an auto accident. Now it's time to replace the driver's side. To replace the lens, I need to remove the headlight assembly, and that requires removing the front grille and the bumper cover. The grille is held on with plastic tabs. You can pop them loose by hand. The bumper cover has a bunch of Torx head bolts, plus there are some Torx head screws in the wheel well. Then you pull forward on the bumper cover. On my car, this fog light bar is in the way, so I can't remove the bumper cover, but I can sneak a wrench in there to get the bottom two bolts. Next, I'll remove the two bolts on top, and I need to disconnect the electrical plug. Now the headlight assembly can come out. Before removing the lens, we first need to remove these metal clips. There are 4 of them. Now I'm going to use a putty knife to carefully pry it apart. My advice to you would be to take your time. If you rush this, you could easily break something. The lens is not so important because you're replacing it anyway, but you don't want to damage the headlight housing. You may have noticed these headlights have been modified. Let me tell you about that while I struggle with the lens. I blacked out the non-essential parts of the headlight. It's called the Joey mod. I'm assuming it's named after the person who pioneered it. Basically, you mask off the parts that shouldn't be painted and spray the rest with black paint. It's pretty straightforward. However, the reflective coating is very fragile. Even painter's tape can damage it. You have to be really careful. Looks like I'm still struggling with that lens. Let's hit the fast forward button. There is some plastic trim attached to the lens. It needs to be removed and transferred to the new lens. Now I can install the new lens and reattach those clips. Since I have the headlight assembly out of the car, let me show you how to replace the light bulb. You need to pop these 2 clips loose, then remove that plastic cover. Now you can remove the electrical plug. It has a tab on the side. Next, we remove the locking ring. Turn it a little bit and it pops loose. Then pull the bulb straight out. Installation is the reverse. It'll be more challenging to do that in the car, but it's still doable. About that headlight upgrade, I decided to replace the headlights with Hella Optilux bulbs. The old ones were Philips Crystal Vision. The Philips bulbs were advertised as 4000K color temperature, whereas the Hellas are advertised as 6000K. Here I have one of each in the car to compare them. This one is the Philips. This one is the Hella. The Philips is slightly yellowish. The Hella is a bright white color. Unfortunately, the difference doesn't show very well on camera. Okay, let's take some nighttime footage. Here we have the Philips Crystal Vision lights installed. To me it looks like typical halogen headlights, nothing special here. Now we have the Hella bulbs. The light is definitely wider, but once again it doesn't show very well on camera. Let's do a side-by-side and see if we can tell the difference. The Hella is on the left, the Philips on the right. To borrow a quote from another YouTuber, you be the judge. Okay, that's it for this video. See you next time.